And that's when I realised she wasn't Lebanese, she was a lesbian. And we're live.
You are now listening to Radio Rufus.
Yes, hello and welcome back to another heart-beating, pulse-racing, nerve-ending episode of Radio Rufus. We return, as always, every week with the latest and greatest news, sports, games. It's a traditional radio format with a modern twist. It's a contemporary classic and the greatest podcast in the history of history. As always, I, Rufus Rice, still named that, am joined by my wondrous producer, Aidan. Say hello, Aidan.
Hello.
Though some of the scoops on the show might not be quite as fresh as you've imagined, because we are rolling in the deep waters of our wonderful 60s radio studio, like Adele in her prime. Let's get into it with our first segment then. Not news. This is the weirdest stories from around the world, and this is what has hit the headlines this week. A new study has found microplastics in every testicle in the world. A grandma is in some hot water after groping Goofy at Disney World. And engineers have built a suit that enables you to drink your own piss. So that should be very entertaining. Let's get into our first story then, on the back of a new study and some scrotums. So, some weirdos in a lab somewhere made a shocking and worrying discovery this week after publishing results stating it is likely that every bollock of every human and animal in the world is contaminated with microplastics. The alleged scientists investigated 23 human testes and 47 dog testes, finding pollution in every sample. I have to say, not sure there's any point testing at the dog. I don't care about the dog testes, really. But
Also, surely the sample size for men should be higher.
I think it's easier to get a testy off a dog than a man.
Yeah, true.
That's the thing. I think it's really about availability. So you might ask, what impact is this going to have on us? Because we don't know whether it's good or bad, right?
In terms of, like,
What's it going to do to you, having microplastics in your balls?
sperm count and stuff probably affected.
Yeah, so it's not all bad music. I said bad music, but I meant bad news.
Yeah.
They've also linked microplastics to decreasing sperm counts, increased risk of stroke, heart attack, and lower life expectancy. The oldest ball in the sample was from an 88-year-old man. So it's not just young people who have to worry about
He's at risk of all those things anyway, though.
Yeah, I agree. Well, he's also got no bollocks, so I agree. Probably not his biggest concern. But this has now happened to everyone, and it may cause weak sperm or infertility in extreme cases.
Surely for single men like yourself in your early 20s, a weak sperm count is the dream. Like, any chance to further eradicate pregnancy scares. Is that not, like, would you not be rubbing your hands together at that thought?
Well, I'm not sure if this is scientifically accurate, but I think I associate weak sperm counts with having neaky children.
Ah, okay.
I don't know if that's scientifically correct, but I feel like if I don't have strong sperm, I'm going to have nerdy kids.
I understand where you're coming from. It's like the left testicle is the one that makes it a boy and the right testicle is the one that makes it a girl.
That's not true.
There's no proof to suggest that.
I think there is quite a lot.
Is there proof to suggest the Nicky Child thing?
I think there's quite a lot of proof to suggest you've just decided to say that. And that's not true at all. But I mean, that would be cool.
Yeah. If you could just lock and load whatever one you want.
You had 2 shots in the canister.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've always thought about this because we used to discuss a really important question at school, which is, would you rather have 2 dicks or 4 balls?
4 balls.
Really?
No. 2 dicks, because you can sit in your ball the odd time even with 2, and it's fucking extremely painful. Can you imagine the risk with having 4 of them?
Yeah.
You would just constantly be sitting on at least one
testicle. It depends how they're
testicle.
arranged.
But I don't feel like you have a say in that. It just hangs around the bag. Whatever way you sit, it'll be underneath you.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I'm team 2 dicks all the way, but there were some 4 balls sort of apologists.
What way are the dicks arranged? Are they side by side like like those 3-headed dragons you see in films? Does it come out like that?
Yeah, now we're getting really into like, I think you'd have to ask a philosopher or something. Like we're getting a bit beyond my understanding of the philosophical question here, but I'd like to have one on top of the other. I think like that. I think side to side would be too much crampage.
Yeah,
in the area.
One on top of the other is every man's dream.
Guess so. But like, then you get into other questions like, can you control them individually or do they work as a team?
Yeah.
And then with the 4 balls thing, it's like...
That's a lot of spunk.
It's a lot of spunk, so there's like questions of spunk management there. And is it 2 and 2? Like, as in you get 2 shots in the chamber, or is it one big one? You know, there's a lot of hypotheticals we could discuss. But 2 dicks?
2 dicks.
Cool. I think if you had microplastics and you had 4 balls, it would be even worse.
That's a lot of microplastics.
Yeah.
I have no idea what a microplastic is. Obviously, a very small plastic due to the name.
Hence.
But what the fuck is it doing?
I think it's actually pronounced microplastic, but...
Microplastic?
Like microponus, yeah.
Right, okay.
Which is, I'm not joking, that is the correct pronunciation of...
Right, well, I'm not going to pronounce it that way.
a microponus.
It's like, there's all these new studies coming out to show that like everything that is good kills you. Like bacon apparently kills you. I'm not going to stop eating bacon. I'm not going to stop if it's just dead and nice stuff.
You said something very memorable about bacon.
What was that?
In the office the other day. Because you said, and I want to press you on this, you said that when you get a meal deal, your healthy option is getting a bacon sandwich.
Yeah.
What's the unhealthy option?
It's more so what I match with it. Because
okay, right.
You're talking fucking, I can go hula hoops, I can go Kinder Bueno, but the healthy option, there's mayonnaise in it, there's sometimes lettuce in the bacon option. So
the few flakes of like foot lettuce
that
you get in there is sufficient nutrients for it to be considered a healthy option.
I feel as though that is the case, yes.
And the unhealthy option?
2 of them.
Of course. Right. Yeah, so microplastics are basically like tiny degraded bits of plastic, and they've now found them in every part of the world. So they're even at the top of Mount Everest. So they're basically, the entire world is polluted by these things. So it's not like you can avoid them.
Yeah.
But they sort of have a stranglehold on your balls, I guess. It's pollution, basically.
My balls feel fine. They don't feel very polluted.
Yeah, but imagine like your balls 100 years ago. Maybe they just felt amazing.
I'm only 24.
Such a stupid joke. I think like if you... Actually, Victorian era is a bad... Because I feel like they were pretty polluted balls as well.
Yeah.
The Victorians were breathing in like knee smoke the whole time.
They just cut the balls off you for any like small mistake you make back then.
Yeah, I'm absolutely certain they still did that in the Victorian times, and that wasn't like an... Or did they?
I don't know.
Feels like that's sort of like ancient Egyptian sort of punishment.
They were still punishing people to death for certain crimes only like 50, 60 years ago, so...
Yeah.
I feel like people could have been chopping balls off.
I think chopping balls off is sort of more scary than the death penalty.
Yeah, I'd rather the death penalty.
So let's campaign for that. We're against the death penalty, but we're for castration as a punishment.
Especially for certain type of people that need castrated.
Yeah. Okay, well, we're starting a new campaign then. Scotland Yard, if you're listening to this, the crime people, the Met Police, we'd love to have a chat with you. On an unrelated note, New Mexico police are on the hunt for a suspect after a spree of reported crime. 12 men reported being blindfolded, drugged, and waking up with no bollocks in a 2-week period last month. Police say they cannot establish any motive for the crime. I might have added that bit. So yeah, check your balls, lads. There might be a plastic bottle or 2 in there. On to our next story then, and it's horny grandma time. The first instance of horny grandma time on the podcast. This is a real milestone.
I've been waiting for this.
A grandma has got in trouble after groping Goofy at Disney World. What a headline. Shocking allegations have come out of Orlando, Florida, as a cast member has come out and accused an elderly grandma of groping him whilst at work. An unnamed 32-year-old male. I wouldn't give my name either if I was 32 and working at Disney World. whose life hadn't quite turned out quite as planned, was dressed up as Goofy for work on the 19th of April. He posed for pictures with a family of 4. However, he got a bit more than he bargained for as the grandma of the group placed her right hand on his arse and squeezed the cheek 3 times. During the squeezing, the grandmother said, quote, "Woohoo!" So I can only assume there were 3 of those. Woohoo! 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 Horny grandma.
I wonder what the charge is for specifically 3 ass squeezes.
I'm not sure. You know, it's like 1st degree murder, 2nd. This is like 3rd degree arse grab.
Let's be honest, this granny's going to be walking free. Like, maybe,
nobody's been arrested. The sheriff's office does want to clarify that.
Yeah, a slap on the wrist or a slap on the ass.
Slap on the wrist, grab on the arse, and a 50 quid fine. Yeah.
Can I just say as well, Grandma Groped Goofy is absolutely unbelievable alliteration.
Yeah.
That is one of my favourite acronyms that use the same 3 letters.
Gosh. Can you do a Goofy voice?
I can't at all. I know you can, or I know you can at least try.
I've been attempting it all week in preparation for this story. Hi guys. He sounds a bit like that. I'm trying to get. Did you watch Mickey Mouse Clubhouse?
Yeah, I fucking loved that whenever I was
It's
younger.
like Goofy doing that. Sort of
It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse.
Yeah. And gore.
Come inside, it's fun inside.
Ow! Fuck. just smash my fingers between the chair and the desk here. Yeah, I'll do my best. Oh no, it just sounds.
You sound like you're from Bristol.
Hey guys, want to grab my ass? Gosh. There we go. That's how sort of the best Goofy I can come up with.
If I see a sexual assault case involving someone dressed as Goofy, I'm assuming they're the perpetrator.
Yeah, that's so true. Yeah. So after the photo was taken, the victim stopped the meet and greet to alert his attendant he had been groped, and a park leader was also notified. The grandmother stated with an attitude, "What? I guess he doesn't want us here," according to the report. The family then walked off. The grandma, whose name was not identified, was described as being in her 60s and wearing leggings with a black Minnie Mouse shirt that read, quote, "Nana Mouse." That says a lot to me. That speaks volumes, that whole sentence. Because that's almost wronger than the arse grabbing, is being that old and wearing that.
Yeah. And also, pretty ballsy from Granny to be fucking grabbing ass in front of the grandchildren.
It's a power move for sure.
Yeah. Usually you keep that stuff to after hours whenever they've went to bed.
It's almost like I'm still young and cool. I still like to get it on, so put them in their place. Yeah, the situation is ongoing, so it's unclear what's actually going to happen. I say send her to the chair. It's criminal behaviour,
Yeah,
man.
we can't cut her balls off, so the chair it is.
Those are the 2 options. If you're a bloke, your balls get cut off, and if you're a woman, you get sent to the chair. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, I think that's what we've decided.
So stupid. Right. So, horny granny, if you want to come on, we'd love to talk to you about this situation. We would love to hear your side of the story. And I mean, I personally not into Goofy in a sort of sexual style like horny granny is. So let us know how that ass felt.
If she wanted payment for coming on and the payment was grabbing your ass, what is the cutoff point for the amount of grabs?
How many grabs? Yeah, great question.
What's the max?
I think it's not number of grabs, but maybe she's got like a 30-minute window to get in as many as she likes.
Right, okay. That's a lot of ass grabbing.
I haven't seen a picture. It depends how hot the granny is.
Yeah, true. If she's to your
But
taste.
I'm willing to make sacrifices for this show. One time I signed up to a news website. I gave them my personal details so I could access an article. So I'd really put my body on the line for that.
Absolute dedication to the cause.
So, horny granny, my arse is there for the grabbing if you want to come on and plead your case on a public network like us. So there we go. Next up, science and technology. Your 2 favourite things. Your 3 favourite things actually in this story. Science, technology, and drinking your own piss. Because engineer collective Hacksmith Industries jerry-rigged a functional Dune-inspired still suit and debuted it on YouTube this week. I'm not like a massive neek, so I haven't seen Dune, but apparently the primary function of the suit is to collect escaping bodily fluids, sweat, breath, and piss, the big three, and recycle them into drinkable water to basically retain your hydration.
I haven't seen Dune ever. What the fuck am I on about? I haven't seen Dune either, and it's mainly because the look of Timothy Chalamet just pisses me off. He looks like he's halfway through a gender reassignment surgery, and he just...
I can't tell which direction, though.
Yeah,
It's just sort of around. Yeah.
He still hasn't decided which one he's picking. But I'm assuming within the Dune universe, it is necessary for survival to drink your own piss. It's not in our world.
No, it isn't. This is voluntary.
Yeah, so what the fuck are you doing?
It's like when Bear Grylls drinks his own piss, even though there's a whole camera crew right there and they've got loads of...
Yeah, they've got a fucking 24-pack of Evian.
He's just into it.
Yeah, he chugs that thing down as well. No sort of filtration. At least with this, there's some sort of filtration. He's going cock the bottle and bottle to mouth within seconds.
My main problem with drinking my own urine, which I would do in a survival scenario if I really had to,
yeah,
I think taste.
Yeah.
I think people think it's disgusting because it's piss, but I think it just tastes bad in it. I wouldn't know, but
say you're only drinking water for like a week and you're living off that.
Yeah.
Surely your piss is just pure water at that stage, or not far off it, closer than it could be.
I mean, yeah, I definitely hydrate before I drunk my piss.
Yeah.
I don't want that sort of. There's that chart of yellow gradient. I'd be looking to on the clear side.
Bear Grylls' piss looked. It was the color of a Teletubby. Like it was pure yellow.
It's like sunflower oil.
Yeah.
Coming out of there. It looked like he was drinking a Corona.
That pervert would probably cook his dinner in it as well.
Yeah. One time he ate a live octopus, didn't he, and washed it down with a bit of piss, I think.
I haven't seen that episode,
but like it wasn't planned.
Yeah.
They just happened upon an octopus.
Yeah.
And he was just like, oh, this would be a good bit of TV, and just sort of scranned a live octopus.
At what point did he decide to fucking chase it down with a glass of his own piss, though?
I think the idea was that he was on a raft.
Right.
And the octopus sort of clung onto the raft.
Yeah.
And because he's on a raft in the middle of the sea, there's no fresh water around. Hence the piss.
Right.
But, I mean, it's not a classic combination. Wouldn't be my meal deal, let's say that. Anyway, this suit. It's actually sounds really sort of futuristic and modern. It's actually built out of a computer cooler, a plastic lab suit, an off-the-shelf Dune costume, and a respirator. The engineer, when testing the device, was asked how the water tastes. This is his review. Warm.
Just room temperature piss.
I imagine a bit hotter, to be honest.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I see no appeal to ever trying anything like this, even in the name of science.
I'd like to see someone like run a marathon in this suit.
I'd like to see someone dropped in the middle of a desert to see how well it works.
Oh yeah, nice. Who would you want in the suit? Drop him in the middle of the desert. You know who would be great?
Who?
Farage. I'd like a TV show of that.
You'd watch that?
10 episodes, him, just drop him in the middle of Saudi Arabia. Don't give him anything except the suit. Just see how he gets on. I'd
like to see a spin-off after that, if the ratings are good, with Boris Johnson.
Or maybe both.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a race, maybe. That's awesome. Yeah.
Bojo would be a good candidate. You'd probably have to expand the suit out a bit, but it would still be pretty cool.
Extra large.
Yeah.
Yeah. Of course. Fantastic. So, Bojo, Nige, if you're into that, let us know. We'll set that up for you. Hacksmith Industries, we'd like 2 suits, please. One big one. On to Snatch of the Day, then, our sports segment now. And the most exciting thing to happen in the history of golf occurred on Thursday, as a massive rock slide due to a cliff collapse occurred on a course in Dorset. Can you bring up the article? Because there's actually some unbelievable pictures. And by Thursday, I do, of course, mean Thursday the 30th of June 2017, when this actually happened. But naturally, we're going to pretend like it happened last week.
Yeah, we wouldn't often fabricate the dates of reports in this 60s radio station.
Nope. Yeah, look at this. I mean, I don't think you can really understand the magnitude of this. without seeing the images.
That is absolutely mental.
Yeah,
Look how close they are to it.
I know. Look how big the rock slide is. It's a proper cliff, that.
If you are standing there
Yeah.
and it collapses, do you just land in a neat pile at the top of it? Or are you buried underneath a fucking ton of sand?
It's almost certain death.
Yeah.
2,000 tons of pure cliff slipped and left a bunker on the 15th hole at West Dorset Golf Club, yards from a gaping crevasse. Like, so close. And these amazing drone shots that we've got here, I think all this proves is how mental golfers are.
Yeah.
Like, how much are you willing to risk to get a double bogey?
Especially, I'm assuming, at an amateur game as well. It's not as if this is a
absolutely.
fucking open.
No, this ain't the Masters, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's just a group of bellends sort of just casually golfing from the edge. I imagine they don't look particularly good golfers as well. I imagine a lot of balls are going straight off that cliff as well. So you're not getting that back. And I don't love anything enough to do it this close to a cliff edge.
Nah, nothing. One thing I've always questioned about golf:
Okay.
does dressing like a wanker have any effect on your performance?
I've thought about this as well, because I saw golf TikTok the other day, right? They wear belts, like, to play sports.
Yeah, strange. You are in the right tax bracket to be playing golf regularly.
Yeah, and I think everyone assumes I do play golf, but I despise golf. I think it's such a waste of time.
Like, what effect does wearing ridiculous socks have in your game?
And the special trousers,
Yeah.
special shoes.
And you know, like those hats that have a cap and also like a beanie thing in the top of it?
Yeah.
What the
is
fuck's that about?
Yeah. And also, you can't really play the sport to a professional standard without another bloke there
Yeah.
chatting in your ear. the
Carrying
whole
your
time.
bag.
I feel like if you're a professional golfer, you should carry your own bag. And also, you don't need the caddy to, like, tell you what to do. Like, you should just figure it out.
How many weeks training do you reckon you would need to compete at a open?
Okay,
Months?
I actually said to my dad the other day. So let's say I already know the course where we're
Yeah.
playing. Give me 2 years of just playing that course, and then tournament happens. And I reckon, you know what the cut is in a golf tournament?
No.
So they play 4 days, golf tournaments. And after 2 days, the worst half of the field is cut.
Right, okay.
So if you make the cut, you're in the top half.
You think you'd make the cut?
I think 2 years of practice from nothing on the golf course we're playing, I'd make the cut.
Is this with or without the gimpy golf gear?
Oh, I'd have to have it.
You go all in?
I think it gives you at least a 2-shot advantage, right?
You've actually kind of got the trousers for it right
Yeah,
now.
that's a good point, actually. I've got the Arnold Palmer 4s on here. They're looking very nice.
You just need the socks and you're halfway there.
How much money would I have to pay you to go to the Masters Champions dinner?
It's like £100.
100 quid.
Yeah.
That's where all the people who've won the Golf Masters, you have to go to that dinner.
Is there any sort of weird initiation that I don't know about, or am I just getting free food and also £100? Because that's a no-brainer.
Yeah, but you also have to talk about golf for 2 hours, so... Grand? 2 grand?
The only sort of conversation opener I would have is that I used to play Tiger Woods PGA Tour on like the PS2.
Yeah, I played crazy golf a few times.
Yeah, I'm pretty good at mini golf.
I'm actually shit at it.
My short game is pretty impressive. So if I got it onto the green,
We know
I'm
about,
probably
we
hitting
know
that.
about your short game. Been talking to your girlfriend about your short game, mate. Right, onto the weather then. Drizzle kicks coming at you now, and it's bad news, as it usually is, for all my Brazilians out there. Samba is shit. And also the country has been devastated by a series of horrendous floods that have caused millions of Brazilians major issues, including the losses of many lives and damage estimated at 19 billion Brazilian reals, or about 38 quid. The southern state of Rio Grande do Sul which sounds lovely, but isn't, has been ravaged by biblical rains, bringing on the worst flooding in 80 years.
They are very religious people, so the biblical rain's pretty ironic.
Shalom, yeah, exactly.
Also, millions of Brazilians is great wording.
Millions of Brazilians, and it's cost them 19 billion Brazilian reals. So 327,100 people have been displaced from their homes. It's about the same size as Swansea, which actually makes it seem less bad.
Yeah.
Because Swansea's not very big.
So would you rather Swansea wiped out or these Brazilians?
Oh, Swansea, yeah. I think that'd be a net positive for everybody.
Yeah.
It's about 2 Newports. I think if we could wipe out Newport twice over, that would be a huge bonus.
The main thing I associate with Swansea is Gylfi Sigurdsson, and he doesn't have a great track record.
That's funny that the most famous thing about Swansea is an Icelandic nonce. I went to Newport. That's where the passport office is when I had to get a new passport, right? And honestly, the river makes the Thames look like an unspoilt freshwater lagoon. Honestly, it is so brown.
Yeah.
So it's like the Ganges, mate. It's so bad. Yeah.
I like to think of Raider Rufus as like a very humanitarian show.
Okay.
But this disaster is completely out of our hands. They're on their own. Like, we can't do anything for them.
No, it's true. I guess we could have. You said they were quite religious.
We'll say a prayer.
We could have a prayer. Yeah.
Do you know the Hail Mary?
No, I really only know one prayer.
What is it?
So we'll just do that one. Yeah. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done.
As earth as it is in heaven.
I can't remember.
On earth as it is in
We
heaven.
used to do this every week at school. On earth as it is in heaven. And give us this day our daily bread. And forgive us our trespasses. As we forgive those who trespass against us.
And lead us not into temptation,
but deliver us from evil.
Amen.
No, there's more.
Deliver us from evil.
For thine is the kingdom, power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen.
I think that might be the British remix. We didn't have that bit.
Oh, really? We added
so.
on a little feature at the end.
Yeah, you just got like a producer tag at the end of it.
You are now listening to a godlike beat. That would be awesome if they had producer tags on hymns. You are now listening to a Catholic beat. Dear Lord and Father of mankind. Do you know that one?
Probably at some stage.
Dear Lord and Father of... life is crazy. Oh, mankind. That'd be great. I'd love that.
Do you reckon there's like a Jesse on the beat? Something like that?
Oh, like a Jeremy Corbyn. Yeah. My favourite. JC on the beat. Yeah.
I've said these things to you so that you will have peace in me. In the world you have distress, but be encouraged. I have conquered the world.
Yeah.
And now these 3 remain: faith, hope, and love. But the greatest of these is love.
Straight up.
For God did not give us a spirit of timidity, but a spirit of power, of love, and of self-discipline.
All right.
For God gave us a spirit not of fear, but of power and self-love and control.
I think if they had a hype man in church, that would be awesome to just do ad-libs.
My soul is weary with sorrow. Strengthen me according to your word.
Hey. Skirt. So there we go. That was good. Probably none of that is going to make the edit. You're going to be the witness to what can only be described as one of the greatest sporting events of the 21st century. Me and Aiden are going to have a fight to the death, according to the rule set of the Cardboard Tube Fighting League, which is a sport set up for neeks in America.
It is.
Which we also happen to absolutely love.
One of these is filled with stones and the other concrete, so it's going to get interesting really quick.
Welcome to the Cardboard Tube Fighting League. Now we move on to your favourite segment, my favourite segment, our favourite segment, everybody's favourite. It's questionable time. We ask you a pulsating query, and we react to the best responses. Today, I asked you, what is the biggest bad decision you have made with the biggest outcome on your life? We're going to judge you for your terrible decisions and see what happens. Firstly, as always with my audience, can't always trust that everything's going to be 100% true, but some of these are more suspicious than others. I assassinated Archduke Franz Ferdinand, causing World War One.
Lived to tell the tale even to this day.
Yeah, it must be the oldest view we have. We don't.
Actually, you know what? I saw them support the killers once, so they must all still be living.
Sorry?
Franz Ferdinand.
Such a bad joke.
I actually did see them. They're pretty good.
Yeah, I've
live.
seen them as well, yeah. Pretty good, actually. Yeah. I got swindled into 18 years of child support payments by a $30 ASOS dress and the slightest bit of affection. She told me she was on the pill.
It's a rough one to take.
Dated the boy who broke my heart in first year, who went on to cheat on me by wanking off a man in the club. So, Tom Garrett's ex writing in there. Is this cheating? Or is this just tugging off your mate for a laugh?
I feel like in the circles you ran about with, it's much more likely to be tugging off your friend for a
Okay,
laugh.
right. It's funny, isn't it? Because let's say you caught your girlfriend like lip-syncing another girl in a club. Would you feel like you've been cheated on, or you just lied to?
Probably a bit of both.
It doesn't really feel the same as cheating.
Kind of double standards though, because if I wank myself off, that's fine, but as soon as I do it to my friend, there's an issue.
Do you think it's gay to nosh yourself off? Like, if you could?
Yeah, I think that's pretty gay.
Really?
Especially if you fucking finish in your mouth.
I didn't really go there yet, but it's not gay to give yourself a handy. So why would it be gay to give yourself a blowy? It's gayer.
Right, well, would you rather if you had to get a man to completion, do it with your hand to your mouth?
Yeah, but I'm that's not relevant to this question.
It is.
They're both on me, though.
Yeah, but it's still...
You're just saying wanking is gay, but it's not.
I don't think wanking's gay.
Yeah, so that's a terrible analogy. Whereas wanking off another bloke is definitely gay.
Yeah.
But wanking off yourself is not gay, so how would sucking yourself off be gay?
Because sucking off another man...
I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but listen a second. Sucking off another man is much gayer than wanking off another man. As much as they're both pretty gay,
Yeah.
it's definitely gayer to have a cock in your mouth.
Yeah, but I'm not sure.
Even if it's your cock.
I'm not sure that translates, because like wanking yourself off, wanking is not gay at all, right?
Depends what you're watching.
Okay, standard,
Yeah.
straight, right? That's what I'm viewing.
Yeah.
So that's not a gay activity at all. So how can noshing yourself off and giving yourself like a turbo tongue 9000, how can that be gay?
I feel like the technique kind of counts towards it.
Oh, well, I was just thinking, I'm not actually doing it.
If you're licking up the shaft and spitting on it and all, it's a lot gayer than just like a regulation self-suck.
Spitting on yourself's pretty gay. Yeah.
Would you talk to yourself during it?
What? Get me in the mood. Light the candles, get the roses out, and just have the wank of a lifetime.
Yeah.
The self-blowy of a lifetime. My mate, my roommate at boarding school
Yeah.
could do it.
And did he do it regularly?
No, he didn't. Because it's surprisingly quite uncomfortable doing that. But he did prove to us that he could do it. So he's not bullshitting.
I'm glad I didn't go to boarding school.
I'm not saying like anything else very gay went down, but I just know he can.
That happened, which is pretty gay. Is there anything else he demonstrated in front of you that you should tell us about?
Him specifically, I don't think so. But we did have these two big West Indian guys who lived in the dorm next door.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can just hear them going at it. That's it.
The gayest thing that happened at my school was a few of the lads started watching Glee.
I got involved with bringing 11 immigrants, Vietnamese to be precise, over to the UK from France in a Land Rover. Okay, so this person's just admitted to human trafficking. They were hidden in a fishing trailer. The outcome, we blew up the engine on the French motorway before we even reached Calais. Vehicle and fishing trailer destroyed. Had to leave them behind. There's a lot of things. I don't even know where to start with that one.
Yeah.
I don't want to say anything because I don't want to offend any Vietnamese people, but like, it's a unique situation for sure. I'm not sure how you get involved in bringing illegal immigrants to the UK in a fishing trailer. But it didn't work, so that's...
Something quite similar happened to a person from kind of around my area where I'm originally from. And I remember whenever it first came out. So basically, someone was caught with, I can't remember how many people, but they were all dead in the back of like a lorry. And then the person claimed like, oh, I didn't know what was in the back of the lorry. I didn't know there's people in there. And so many people on Facebook that like maybe like mutual friends and stuff like that putting up posts being like, free this person. He's definitely innocent. Then like 3 days later, the amount of evidence that came out against him and all those Facebook posts got deleted.
Wait, so he got caught a lorry with a load of dead people in the back?
Yeah, like he was...
That he like just killed? Or?
He didn't kill them. He was trafficking them.
And they
but
died.
they just... I don't know whether they suffocated or they were dead, though, all in the back of the thing.
Wow.
And then there's footage of him like throwing his phone away and like just guilty as fuck.
Yeah.
And another case quite similar to that is whenever COVID first came about, there was this really thick girl in my secondary school class.
Okay.
She was putting up all the posts about like, oh, COVID's fake, it's not real, it's scaremongering, don't wear a mask, don't social distance, it's just about control. And then her granny died of it. All those posts were soon deleted, and all the rest in peace granny posts soon followed.
Yeah, I know someone who gave COVID to their own grandpa and then he died.
That's rough.
They were in... Do you remember when the big wave was in Italy?
Yeah, really wiped Italy.
They were in Italy at the time. Came back, gave it to their own. He's Irish as well. Yeah.
I probably know him.
Yeah.
Sorry, knew him.
Rest easy. Next one. A lucky man, which is a new term for me, but you can work out what that is. A lucky man in Magaluf asked me to, quote, come and look at his phone on the beach at 5 a.m. Ended up seeing a picture of his erect knob, followed by questions asking if I wanted to touch, see, or lick it.
This is more common than you think.
Oh God, yeah.
Whenever I was in Calvas, there's plenty of lucky men that would come and like...
What is a lucky man?
You know,
someone who hasn't been.
My definition, or at least to my understanding anyway, is the people that walk around and try and sell you loom bands and shit like that. You know, the like, very good, very nice. You know those people?
Yeah, okay.
That's
a good impression.
Man. Yeah, thank you. I've been practicing it. But I went to this club in Calvas.
Yeah. And
I had walked into a toilet that only had one way in and out, like most toilets, but it was like it's like a disabled bog basically.
Yeah.
And this fella was following me in. This, 6'8" Serbian fella. And I was like, are you alright? But there was a sink in between, so I was thinking, right, is he washing his hands or something? Then I went to close the door, and he put his hand in the door, and I was thinking, what's going on here? I just said to him, are you okay? What the fuck's the problem here? And he asked me if I wanted a blowjob.
Oh, he was going to give you a blowjob.
Yeah.
I thought defo other way around.
And initially, I thought he was joking, so I was like, oh yeah, go for it. And then
of course you would say that.
he tried to push into the toilet there, and I was like, no, I'm only joking, I'm only fucking joking.
Yeah, nice.
And then he sucked me off.
Yeah, great.
But if
so you actually wrote in with this one.
I was just fearing for my life, because if he really wanted the 6'6" Serbian fella,
I'm surprised. He seemed like a true alpha male. He seems like more of a giver than a receiver.
Yeah, no, he was looking to suck me off.
Nice. Next one. I made a gnarly. I think we might have an American in our hands because nobody here says gnarly.
Nah.
Or like this could be my uncle, I guess. I made a gnarly rap song about some girls who were in my year and got expelled. Worst possible outcome, I received a restraining order. And now I'm dating the girl who got me expelled. So you're violating the order?
This sounds like an excerpt from your childhood.
My childhood.
Yeah.
Mate, to be fair, so I don't want any more banter about how my school was like High School Musical or whatever, but a guy got in real trouble in the year below because him and another bloke like started making diss tracks.
Oh my god.
And like music video, and he had like the school uniform on in the music video. And
Was this for a bit of crack, or was this genuine? Was this like heated?
Beef, bro.
Yeah.
Beef, yeah, proper beef. And yeah, they got in proper trouble, man. Somebody got suspended. It wasn't this guy, because what are you saying in this rap song that's getting expelled and a restraining order that you've now violated because you're dating that
Same
girl?
person.
Very confusing, this one. Missing a lot of context, as most of these generally are.
Mm.
Next one. Made fun of a kid at school, then he burgled my house. That's great. Respect. Joining the Navy. Ended up working 20 miserable years there as a wage slave. They're not all funny. Some of them are just sad. I put a Viagra in my brother's coffee on his day off as a prank. Great prank. Didn't know it was his son's parent-teacher conference day. My brother was fully erect in a school full of 8-year-olds.
They're apparently pretty unpredictable.
Viagra?
Yeah, like you can
Never had one.
kick in at any point. I got,
I think you have to get horned up for it to work, right?
I think so. But
so that's weird there.
For a low IQ Christmas special, I got Harry to take one in the middle of the podcast.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work. And I texted him after, being like, because he kicked in the train, and you like full mast on the way home. And apparently it just didn't work on him at all. So he must have to be somewhat aroused. It must just prolong.
Or he has major early onset ED.
Yeah, it could do.
Yeah.
He strikes me as the type.
Yeah, he's probably got a low sperm count. He's ingested a lot of microplastics. I met a Spanish girl while solo travelling last year in Europe. Was an absolute worldie, still have no idea how I pulled. We're still speaking a month after I got home. I got pissed down the pub and booked a 300 quid flight to surprise her the next morning being Christmas Eve.
That's mentalist.
Overslept, missed the flight with no refund, found out a day later she'd been shagging another bloke anyway. Merry Christmas. At least he seems in good spirits about this.
Yeah, he dodged a bullet.
Yeah.
If he had went over on Christmas Eve and caught them in the act, that'd be a pretty sad Christmas day.
Also, like, absolutely mental. I don't know about you, but I'm pretty busy on Christmas Eve.
There's usually something on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, celebrating fucking Christmas.
Yeah.
So I can't fly to Spain to meet a random girl I don't know, because usually we'd both be busy on
Yeah,
Christmas.
I have to have 24 wanks. I don't have time for Spain.
Yeah. I asked my manager if I could watch F1 on his laptop because I forgot mine. He proceeded to sit me down and have a half-an-hour chat about why work is important and how my role is important. After he finished his yap, I let the most malicious fart the planet's ever seen out and got fired on the spot. Once again, not sure that's true.
Yeah. That's just
I
someone
like
seeing your story and thinking, oh, what'll make Rufus laugh?
Yeah, and I did, and I even put it in the show, so congratulations, that person. I like to do a malicious fart just as I'm getting off a train. Leave them in there.
It's enclosed, and it's also the people coming onto the train, they're going to look suspicious.
Mm-hmm.
You're kind of framing someone.
Yeah, it's the perfect crime.
Yeah.
Easiest thing to get away with in the world.
It was always a classic in school to just blame the fat child. Always.
Did you have someone at your school who was just morbidly obese? Because I feel like there's always one.
Yes.
Like properly tubby.
There was this fella, where was he from? He was from some Eastern European country. And I mean, at 14, 15, he was 6'2" and 23 stone.
So he was like big in all directions.
Yeah, he was fucking huge.
He was tall, he was wide, he was deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Crazy. So he hasn't seen his knob since he was about 11.
Probably not. I wouldn't blame a fart on him, though, because he'd fucking eat you.
His fart would be like the Tsar bomber we got a few weeks ago, bro. But yeah, I think it's not a proper school experience if you don't have one really tubby kid.
Yeah. I was always a rake in school, and then I left.
Really? Were you a skinny kid?
Yeah.
I was so small and skinny, and I was also the shortest kid in the year until grade 8.
I was never skinny. I was never like overweight, but I was just like I was always like right and broad, but I was never the fat kid. There's a couple of people there to take my place at that time.
I was skinny.
Yeah.
Like, skinny and lanky and terrible at sports. Started getting beaten by most girls in the 100 meters at like age 8 or 9. I'm one of the slowest runners. I don't have to run very often.
Yeah.
But I am one of the slowest runners you will ever see. I'm so slow.
I am decent at football and I can run a decent enough pace with the ball at my feet. But see, just running, I don't see how people find fun in that. I know it's huge at the minute.
It's not a sport.
Everyone running and putting up their Strava maps
no game,
and stuff.
There's no ball.
Just doesn't interest me.
There's no points.
Quite clearly doesn't interest me, yes, but I would just rather do something that, like football is so much more fun.
I feel the same about swimming.
Yeah.
It's no game.
I get you.
What is that? That's just running in water.
I think I briefly spoke to you about this in the pub, but
okay.
At my school they had we always had sports day.
Yeah.
And then they had there's a class, it was it was called, where it was like children with special needs or disabilities and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So they had a sports day with them. But there was just one fella that had no physical disability. He was just a bit stupid.
Right.
And he just walked every one of them. He left with 6 gold medals.
Yeah.
Which is just, it's like fucking doping. He shouldn't have allowed to compete against them.
I have the same problem with the Paralympics, right? Because they have events and stuff where people have different disabilities.
Yeah.
And it's like, it seems unfair.
You know what I think should kind of be a crossover between the Paralympics and the real Olympics? The shot put. Because the Paralympians are winning that one every day.
Oh, really?
I think so. They've got some strength in them at times.
Do they have robot arms?
Yeah.
Like
there was
bionic arms?
the fella that won the shot put in our school for the class with special needs and stuff like that easily cleared anyone in the
Oh, really? I guess if you've got no arms, it would be quite hard. So it depends. As I said,
disability.
You can't just put them all in the same category.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, this one fella literally was just stupid. That was his only flaw. No physical disability.
So he was just fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, congratulations to the guy. One of the most impressive winning streaks in athletics history then. Next one. The ex-missus sent us a pretty sexy photo whilst I was on the train, so I decided to have a bit of a fiddle with the Corey in the train loos, and I mistakenly didn't lock the door. Oh. Let's just say 55-year-old Barry from the EDL had a bit of surprise. Have you had an awkward walk-in at any point?
Surprisingly, no, I don't think so. Have you?
I've walked in on somebody who I won't name, but he was a mate of mine from school. We were staying around his house. And this was one of the first times I'd ever been drunk. Ever. And same with him. We'd ordered a Nando's because we had the munchies after getting drunk. His dog had eaten most of it.
Yeah.
And then he'd gone to the bathroom and he hadn't come back for a bit. I was like, what's going on here? It's been a while. Check the bathroom, nobody in there. And I knew something was up when I felt that I turned the door handle to his bedroom and it was just lubed. I just slipped around it.
Surely that's the first sign.
Then I walk
retreat.
I walk in. He's just spread eagles. Just everything out. Just mid-crank. We were literally playing Wii Sports. And then he just went off for one.
Was Wii Sports remote lubed up as well?
No, I don't.
I wouldn't trust that.
I don't think so. But I just saw it all. I just saw everything. The whole package.
How were things after that between you?
Oh, we're great mates. It's genuinely still one of my best mates.
It just solidified your friendship?
Yeah, I think we moved past it smoothly.
I genuinely... Not that I can remember anyway.
What?
Have I ever walked in on someone or something?
No. I've never been walked in on in an embarrassing sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I do remember that quite vividly. It burned in my eyelids for a while after that. It was like Vietnam flashbacks.
Have you ever walked in front of family or anything?
No, never.
Like, fuck yeah. That would be a hard one to come back from.
This one's interesting. So my worst mistake is thinking that if I'm meant to be just with one person, then getting with other people with the same name as them won't have any repercussions. And that's genius, because if they hear anyone say, oh, X got with such and such last week, they'll be like, oh yeah, that's me. Yeah, absolutely.
You also don't have to worry about saying the wrong name.
Yep. Yeah, all fun and games till you walk into what looks like a same first name reunion and witness them all sitting next to each other. This came in from a girl, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and I think there are some flaws with this that aren't immediately obvious. Like, you have to find 3 people with the same name.
Yeah.
And then be up for shagging all of them.
Should have loved that Kyle convention. In the last
2000 Ivans in Serbia or whatever the fuck that was. Yeah. So you have to not only find 3 people with the same name, but also be up for sort of shagging all of them.
Yeah.
And then not having any of them cross paths at any point.
Is the main criteria for her just them having the same name? Seems like it.
Seems like it. She's also a ginger as well, so you can't really trust.
Yeah. Plus, she can't be too picky.
That's what I'm saying. How do you find 3 people with the same name? That's incredible stuff. But yeah, they all found out, and you got caught. Next one. Once had it on with this emoji girl. I think she meant emo. Emo girl. Split up after a few months as she was a nut job. I could do with one of those at the moment. A nut job. It's been a while.
I thought you meant an emo girl.
No.
Did you turn your nose up at one of them, though?
I'm not. It's really not for me.
Nah.
You know that song, I'm in love with an emo girl?
You're not.
I'm not. She went full baby reindeer, even sent death threats to my nan.
Jesus.
To the nan as well.
Yeah. That's why she grew up goofy.
Gosh. I felt bad for the homeless guy in Tesco, so I gave him my last £5 note, and he robbed me the same night in the car parks. Called me a racial slur too while he ran off. That's awesome, that story.
I remember whenever I first got my very, very first student loan.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, fuck, I've got money now. So I took a 20 quid.
How much was it? Do you remember?
I think you got a couple of grand.
All at once.
To cover you from all your rent, all your bills, everything.
Yeah.
From September to January, I think it was. Mm. So I took 20 quid out thinking, right, I'm the good Samaritan here. I'm going to give it there's always a homeless fella sleeping in a Ninja Turtle blanket. And I was a pretty big Ninja Turtle fan, so I was like, he's one of my boys probably.
Yeah.
Give him the 20 quid.
One of us. One of us.
He rolled over. I tapped him, he rolled over, grabbed it, and then looked up at me and just rolled over, put it in his pocket, went back to sleep.
Yeah. I
was thinking, you cheeky, give me that back. At least say thank you or acknowledge me or something. I don't want to be one of them people.
Give it back.
I don't want to be one of them people that do it just to be seen to be doing it. That wasn't my goal, but
yeah.
Surely say thank you.
Come on, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's my mum's friend. Whenever she goes shopping, there's always the same homeless guy outside.
Yeah.
And she usually buys him a cider. Don't know why, that's just perpetuating the problem really, but she does do it. One time they didn't have his normal cider and she bought him a different one and he goes, no, I don't drink that brand.
That's mental.
I've had multiple stories of homeless people claiming to be vegetarians. You are hungry, bro.
I think it was one of the Tesco meal deal sandwiches they got. So sometimes because they would just use it to buy drugs, the people in that local Tesco I worked in would just buy them meal deals. And I remember one of the homeless people saying oh no, I don't want that one. Trying to exchange items of the meal deal. Surely if you're homeless, you're going to eat anything. You're not going to be too fussy about it.
No, I don't want the poke bowl.
I don't even know what that is. Is that sushi? Kinda.
No, it's sort of they have it in Sainsbury's,
right? On
the expensive side of the line.
Yeah,
over there.
I've never been there.
It's fusion Japanese Hawaiian stuff.
Right. Yeah, I don't want that either.
Yeah.
But
if you were starving and homeless, you wouldn't have that.
If I miss lunch, I'll eat anything.
Yeah.
These fuckers are missing lunch every day and they're turning their nose up at something.
Oh. Hello. It's your favourite boy, Sigmund. Wow. Okay. You're going to like this story. Fantastic. Thank you, Sigmund. Well, very exciting. Very exciting. I think this might be the breaking news I am most thrilled about.
Oh, really?
I've just had some breaking news down the wire from our science and innovation correspondent, Sigmund Freud, in Vienna. This is today's news. Today, of course, being the 29th of March, 1962. Last year, of course, as we know, because it was very recent. Two of the greatest scientific minds of our generation, Thomas Cronin and Frank Gehry, as part of a brand deal with the silicone manufacturers, the Dow Corning Corporation, came out with the Silicon X Tits Mark I, the first silicone implant prototype. And today, another huge milestone. It is the first successful boob enlargement operation has gone ahead, taken place, and it has worked. It was on Timmy Lindsay, a mum of 6.
Classy name.
In Houston, Texas. It's over the course of 2 hours. She went from a B to a C cup.
Right.
B to a C.
That's like getting a cock extension and going from 3 inches to 4 inches.
I know. I feel like in this situation, you got to shoot for the moon.
Yeah.
I'd be getting J's.
Aim for the stars, like.
Yeah. I'd be going, well, how much silicone do you have? That's what I'd be asking.
You just keep topping it up.
Yeah. That's rubbish.
Yeah.
So what's funny is she didn't intend on having breast implants.
What did she go in for?
To have her ears pinned back. This is true. Real story. So she came in to have her ears pinned back and a tattoo removed.
What the fuck sort of joint is this? Is doing
I don't know.
tattoos,
Wait, we do everything.
tit jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what that sounds like?
Dude.
Any trip to B&M Bargains.
Yeah,
You know,
just come back with whatever.
You go in for a drink and come out with a karaoke machine.
yeah, she's sort of gone for the lucky dip here, hasn't she? Yeah, so so basically what happened is she went in to have a tattoo removed on her tit,
Yeah.
which, I mean, classy move already. And it does surprise me that people were getting tit tats in 1962. But basically they were sort of looking at that in the process of like working out how they're going to do that. And they said, well, we've got a new sort of experimental surgery. We'd like, do you want a brand new rack? And she went, all right, as long as you pin my ears back as well. So what a deal that was. And it was known to be safe. Yes,
Yeah.
Because previously the silicone implants had been tested by giving, no joke, a dog called Esmeralda some fresh cans.
They give a dog a tit job.
Yeah, to like work out if it was safe.
So there's a dog knocking about in, well, I was about to say in the 60s.
Yeah.
Right now, there's a
now.
dog knocking about with tits.
Yeah, so they knew it was safe because the dog didn't die after 2 weeks.
Okay, so he's in the clear.
Yeah. So Timmy Lindsay, which is so funny if you look her up. She looks like the most unsuspecting person, the least likely person to ever get a boob job ever. Yeah. So look, that's her.
There's her on the left.
Yeah, and in the middle and on the right.
Oh fuck, that's just her throughout the years.
Yeah.
I mean,
she looks like a librarian.
I thought I should be showing them off.
Yeah.
You know, whenever you get like a new pair of shoes, you want to wear them right away.
Yeah. Doesn't she look like a teaching assistant
She does, yeah.
or a librarian?
She looks like someone that makes sandwiches at like wakes.
Yeah, yeah. Right. She doesn't look like someone who's volunteered for the first tit job ever, does she?
Nah, not at all.
Very unsuspecting customer. And she only went from a B to a C. So, opportunity wasted, I think. I think you've got to go huge.
Yeah. I could see why women would maybe want to like slightly alter the shape of them, because
Yeah.
I do imagine it would be quite stressful having one tit significantly bigger than the other.
Which does happen.
Yeah, it can happen.
Yeah. You want even.
Yeah,
That's like having one bollock significantly lower than the other.
yeah.
And it's like flapping around like a pendulum in a grandfather clock.
Because like genuine question, and I'm not even taking the piss here. How would a bra work if you've got like one cup fucking?
Because they're
hair
built
and the
symmetrically, as far as I know.
Bras are built symmetrically,
Yeah.
but tits aren't.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I do get it, but personally, I just can't. I just couldn't date someone with fake tits.
I feel like they'd lose any sort of movement. Do you know what I mean?
Are you talking jiggle factor here?
Yeah,
I wasn't really. I think the kind of person who would get them. I
that
can't
too,
get.
obviously. Yeah,
Yeah.
but from
So-
like a physical standpoint, they're just going to stand there, like they're just going to look fucking hard and rocky,
Like
and
two boulders.
yeah,
Yeah. I actually don't think they look. I actually think they look terrible.
yeah.
It's like someone with a face full of Botox. and you can immediately, you know, you look like an alien. You don't look like a human anymore. You got like an alien rack. So yeah, congratulations, Timmy, on your new honkers. Lovely stuff. Well, thank you once again for listening to another top quality episode of your favourite show and our favourite show from an unbiased perspective, Radio Rufus. As always, we'll bring you more bants and mediocre chat next time around. And don't forget, we always put out a song every week on TikTok and Instagram for you to enjoy. If you'd like to go hop on over there, follow us, have a look at that, subscribe to the YouTube channel, drop us a rating on Spotify, a fat 5 stars. You know it deserves it. And we'll see you again next week. Back to you in the studio.